night. Cold rain cuts across the asphalt like thin blades. A man gets into his car. In the rearview mirror, her. She doesn't look back. She doesn't rush. Every step is a shot fired into his nervous system. The umbrella in her hand, a shield. The gaze beneath it, a weapon. Not a single wasted gesture. Not a single attempt to please. She moves as if the whole world already belongs to her. What if everything you've been taught is a lie? What if being good isn't the path to respect, but the path to being used? What if love and affection are two different beasts, and the first is never born where there's no tension? Men don't respect the ones who are always available. They respect the ones who can't be bought with attention, persuaded with words, or broken by the habit of pleasing. Rule 1. Never beg for attention. A woman who is her own source of energy, who isn't dependent on someone else's approval, draws a man in on an instinctive level. Biology is simple. The male brain is wired to value what is scarce. Dopamine, the hormone of pursuit, is released only when effort is required to gain access. That's why she doesn't call first or flood his phone with messages. Not because she's playing cold, but because her life is already full, with her own work, her own goals, her own world. He feels it even from a distance. His nervous system reacts as if he's a hunter again, and she's rare prey that never lingers in the open. She never says this outright, but her walk, the pauses before she answers, the subtle air of mystery, and her ability to disappear from view for a day, all of it speaks louder than any words. Rule 2. Set boundaries, not conditions. A man respects a woman who doesn't bargain for her values. Not, if you do this, I'll give you that, but a calm, unwavering, in my life, it's like this. It's not a game. It's not a pose. It's a core that can't be swapped out for a smile or manipulated away. From an evolutionary psychology standpoint, such boundaries are read as a signal of quality. If she can protect what's hers, she can protect her offspring, her resources, her territory. It's an ancient instinct to respect the one who holds the line as firmly as stone holds a fortress. A man's brain instantly detects the falseness of boundaries bent just to be liked. Real boundaries trigger the chemistry of power. Cortisol spikes in the one trying to break them, and it's that very tension that keeps interest alive. A woman without boundaries is like a house without walls. Anyone can walk in, and no one will want to stay. A woman with boundaries is like a locked fortress. Not everyone will dare approach, but the one who does will hold on to the chance to stay inside. Rule 3. Don't dissolve. Keep the polarity. Attraction lives in tension. It dies in complete fusion. When a woman stops being her own person and becomes we without remainder, a man stops seeing her as a target worth pursuing. Biology is simple. The brain needs contrast. The nervous system needs stimulus. A woman who has her own territory, her own interests, her own life, her own time, remains a magnet for a man. She can be close, but never all his. She doesn't give herself away completely just because he's near. The one who knows you can disappear for a day and come back different will keep his focus. Too close. And he stops looking. Close enough, and he comes after you again. A man can love, but he will always be drawn to what he can never fully control. That slight untouchability is like a scent that lingers in the room after you've already left. It keeps his nervous system on edge and pulls him back to you again and again, even when his mind says, enough. Rule 4. Master the art of silence. Silence is the ancient language of power. In prehistoric times, the one who stayed silent was seen as dangerous. He was watching, waiting, choosing his moment. A woman who doesn't react to provocation strips a man of his usual levers of influence. She doesn't justify herself. She doesn't explain where explanations are expected. Her calm is a mirror in which a man sees his true self. The nervous system reacts instantly. Pulse quickens, breathing turns shallow. Not from fear, but from the realization that control is impossible here. And that is respect you can't buy with words. In a world where everyone is desperate to outshout each other, silence cuts sharper than any scream. It makes a man think, search for answers, question his position. And in that pause, in that quiet, lies a power that can't be faked. It all comes down to one truth. A woman who doesn't chase attention, holds her boundaries, keeps her polarity, and masters silence will always be valued by strong men. Not because she's playing a game, but because she's living as nature intended. Value exists only where effort is required. The world is full of masks, but instincts are eternal, and respect is born only where there is inner autonomy. So stop explaining, stop justifying, stop begging, hold your frame, and the world will begin to orbit around you. Because with the strong, respect is never bought, it's earned.